Hey guys, welcome back to Magic TV. My name's Craig. It's 9 o'clock on a Sunday, which means it's time for a review show special. Now, this is where I take a deep dive into a particular company, a particular creator, a particular trick, and I kind of do a deep dive on one particular trick or one particular routine. And today, I'm going to be talking about one of my newest tricks. I'm going to be talking about Lucky Lotto that has come out through Penguin Magic. Now, this came out probably about a week or two now, and I've had so many questions about Lucky Lotto and refills and a whole bunch of other stuff that I thought the best thing to do would be to do a review show special and kind of tell you everything that you need to know. Now, you might have seen a video on this channel a little while ago talking about the thread on the Magic Cafe when it came to Lucky Lotto and different people's opinions on the trailer. I'm not going to get into that there or now. I've said everything that I need to say about that. I don't think I can be more transparent about what this trick is. There's live performances of both of the different handlings where you can see exactly what's going on. So you know exactly what you're going to get with this. And if that's not enough, there's nothing else I can do. But this video is going to be talking all about Lucky Lotto, what it is, and whether it's worth purchasing or not. So I do need to say, obviously it's my own trick. In many, many ways, I'm biased. If you want to look at this as not a review and instead look at it as me being biased, that's absolutely fine. But I think the best way for me to answer everybody's questions about Lucky Lotto is to just do a video like this and kind of talk through everything that the product is. So without further ado, let's get into this week's review show special. It's Lucky Lotto. So Lucky Lotto was the first trick that I actually bought out through, Lucky Lotto was the first trick that I actually went to Penguin with. So it's the first trick I actually went to Penguin Magic with. Before Chop, before Keymaster, before anything else that's going to be coming out through Penguin, I went to them with this. And basically said to them, hey, this is something that I want to release. It was when I hadn't released anything. This is before I'd come back to the industry. Penguin reached out to me and said, hey, we'd like to work with you, what you got? And I went to them with a few different things, including this. This has been part of my repertoire now for about 7 or 8 years. In essence, it is a banknight effect built into a scratch card. Now, that just seems logical to me. It just makes sense that if you're going to do a banknight routine close up, you would do a banknight routine with a scratch card, because the whole point of a scratch card is you might win, you might not. Are you going to win or not? It very much depends. And that's basically what a banknight is, right? So if you like the plot of banknight, then using a scratch card just makes sense. Now, I've been using banknight for years. I've probably done banknight for about 20 years in my act. I think one of the very first banknights I did was Richard Osterland's version of banknight that uses envelopes and money. And for anybody who knows that, there's a thumb tip involved in that. And that's a great version, but it's designed really for stage. It's not designed for close-up work. But on stage, I performed that for years and years and years. For a while, I did Max Maven's version from a DVD he bought out through L&L Publishing called Nothing. And it was a banknight effect, but it used brown paper bags, and there were like different prizes inside each paper bag. And I've also done Blank Night by John Archer for many, many years. And I originally started using it the same way that John did, with the same words, and then I've adapted it over the years to fit more with the type of magic and the type of presentation that I do. Now, the problem with all of these is it's designed to work on stage. You know, Blank Night is a stage routine. Max Maven's routine off Nothing is a stage routine. And I've always wanted to be, I'm going back 7 or 8 years now, I always wanted to do the banknight effect close up, because it is a really great trick to do. If you don't know what banknight is, very, very simply, the idea is that you tell an audience that you're going to influence them. You say that let's say you're doing Blank Night, for example. You say, hey, I've got 5 envelopes. Inside one of the envelopes, there's 100 quid. Inside the other envelopes, there's nothing. My job is to influence you to get the envelopes with nothing in, and for me to be ending up with the money. But if at any point I can't influence you and you win the money, you get to keep it. Now, anybody will tell you from a hook line point of view, when you put money on the line, people are going to be paying attention. Part of my character when I'm performing is this kind of like this con man, this rogue, this guy that I don't think you should really trust this guy. And so the banknight effect just works really well for me. Now, every single style of banknight that I tried just did not fit with my it didn't work close up. So the first idea I had, and with banknight, when I came up with the Lucky Lotto, the first idea I had the idea of doing it with the scratch cards. That was the first thing. Hey, here's an idea, let's do banknight with a scratch card. That would make sense. And I went through so many different ways of doing it, and the first way I had was just to create a scratch card with 6 scratches, and they were numbered 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And the force was always 4. And I used one of those dice or die that doesn't have a number 4 on it. So I took the die out and I gave it to someone to roll, and they rolled it. And let's say they got a 1, they'd scratch off 1 and it's a loser, they'd throw it again. And they'd always end up leaving 4 because there was never a 4 on the dice. And that's a classic ruse that's been done for many, many years in mentalism. And it worked. Don't get me wrong, it worked, but it wasn't a very elegant solution. I wanted it to be completely self-contained within a scratch card. And involving the dice kind of slowed things up a little bit because it didn't feel like they were getting a free choice. Even though they were because of the dice, it didn't feel like they were getting a free choice. It was kind of like, I remember one person saying to me once while I was trialing it out, hey, you know, if I can pick any number, why can't I just pick one? And so I did that for a while, and then went back to the drawing board. And then a few prototypes later, we ended up on Lucky Lotto. And Lucky Lotto is great. Now, there's 2 main handlings. The main handling, and the handling that I use more than anything else. The other handling I kind of think of as an EDC handling, or an everyday carry type handling. But the main handling that I use, that I've always used for years and years and years, uses a stack of scratch cards. And I did a live performance of this to Matt, which I included in a video a couple of weeks ago. But if you haven't seen, in a Magic Live, that's right, it was in a Magic Live. But if you haven't seen that live performance, I'm going to play it right now. So this is a live performance of Lucky Lotto, the main handling. Let's have a look at that handling. So Matt, Jack, the idea is really simple. I'm going to give you a chance to win some money.
Oh.
No,
Don't get excited.
No, be excited,
it won't
be
happen.
excited. Be excited, seriously, I will. So what I have here is I have some scratch cards, right? Mm-hmm. Now, these are not the sort that you buy in a shop. You can't pay money for these. It's not like the National Lottery or anything. These scratch cards are promotional scratch cards. You know, like when you go into a business and they're like doing a promo and they give scratch cards out, right? So my mate owns a business and he bought in a job lot of these.
You've got a mate?
I've got a few of them. I go networking. I've got loads. You're not my only mate, you know. So I went to, so my mate bought a job lot of these in, and he had to bin them all, and I asked him to give me a load of them. And the reason is they're defective. And if you know what you're looking for, you can actually tell what the winning square is, because there's three losing squares and 1 winning square. The losing squares have a cross underneath them. The winning squares have a circle underneath them. The red circle, blue crosses. Now you can't tell, but there is a defect on here that allows me to immediately know what the winning square is and what the losing square is. Now the idea is really simple. I'm going to let you have one of these scratch cards. You're going to pick one of them. You can have any one you want to. And then you're going to have 3 chances to scratch off a square. And you can scratch off any square you want to, mate. Now the idea is simple. If you get a winning square, then I'll give you 10 quid.
Yeah, that's mum's salary.
There you go. I'll give you 10 quid. Seriously, no questions asked. If you get the
Is
winning
that real?
square, yeah, it is. If you
never know, do you, with him?
If you get a winning square, you get 10 quid. If,
And
however,
a day off paid.
okay, deal. If, however, you get the losing square, and my job is to try and influence you to get the losing square. If I can influence you to get the losing square 3 times, and you're leaving the winning square for me, that means I keep the dinner, that I get the money, you don't get a day off, and you have to give me a big round of applause for being so clever.
Give you a round of applause?
Yeah, because feed my ego, because it's massive.
I'd rather pay you an extra and make your ego any bigger.
Is that a deal? Now, there's 3 chances. It's not like you're putting any money up here, so it's just a fun game, but you might get a chance to win some cash. All right? So first of all, they're all exactly the same, but just cut any way you want to and take any one of these. It's totally up to you which one. Now, do you want the bottom one of there, or do you want the top one of this?
This one.
Okay, cool. It's up to you. Totally up to you. So this is one you want to. So, and if you want to, you can change your mind, by the way. It's absolutely fine. You can cut again. You can have the bottom one. You can have any one you want to. It makes no difference. Are you sure? It's really important that all the way through, all the decisions are yours.
No, it's fine. I'll have that one.
Okay, cool. So there's 4 squares. I'm going to give you a coin so you can scratch. 1, 2, 3, 4. In the first round, that's how we're numbering them. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right? When I snap my fingers, you're going to name a number. 1, 2, 3, 4. Then you're going to scratch it off. If that's got a red circle underneath it, you win. Okay? I will tell you that 60% of the time when I play this game, most people go for 2. But it's 1, 2, 3, 4. And obviously, the other thing I should tell you, it's really important for you to know this. I've never actually lost this ever, and I've played it over 450 times. Now, don't let that influence you in any way.
That's reassuring.
But please remember that a lot of people go for that number 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. Snapping my fingers right now. What number do you want?
2.
Interesting.
Oh.
Okay, go for it. Go for it.
Go on, Matt.
What you got? What you got? Oh, is that a cross?
Oh, man.
Oh, mate. I'm so sorry. I really am. I wanted you to win. But the good news is...
No, he does.
Yes, I do. The good news is the odds have just gone up because there's only 3 left. And you get another one. Now, listen very carefully because we're going to number these slightly different. 1, 3, 2. 1, 3, 2. 1, 3, 2. 1, 3, 2. Or 2, 3, 1. 2, 3, 1. 1, 3, 2. 2, 3, 1. 1, 3, 2. 2, 3, 1. When I snap my fingers, you're going to name one of these.
1.
Interesting, the one further away from you. Psychologically, most people go for that one next because you went for the one closest to you on the first round, so they go for the one furthest away. Honestly, you're following the same pattern as everyone else, Matt. I thought.
Well, that's disappointing.
Well, yeah, you do it. I mean, you can change your mind if you want to, but that's the one you wanted. You can just. What you got? What you got? Have you won? Have you won, Matt? Have you won? It'd be good if you did, isn't it? You could buy yourself a chip putty. Have you won? Oh, mate.
Matt.
I'm so sorry. Well, I've got good news and bad news right now, mate. No, seriously, there's good news and bad news. Now, the bad news is... the good news. I'll give you the good news first. Leave with the good news. The good news is your odds have just gone up to 50%. There's a 50% chance that you're going to win this money. The bad news is there's a 50% chance you're going to lose this money as well. Now,
Started off with a 75% chance, then went down to 66, now I'm on 50.
Well done, you can do maths. Now, there's 2 squares left. Let me explain. No. Let me explain why I never lose this game. Actually, I'm going to explain in a minute. But first of all, you need to pick your square. 1, 2. 1, 2. 2, 1, 1, 2. When I snap my fingers, name a number.
1.
That one there, you sure?
I don't know.
It's up to you. Get excited. 1, 2, which one?
1.
That one there, you sure? Now, I'm going to tell you why I never lose this game. The reason I never lose is when I go down to this point, and I've only got 2, you've got 2 options, a win and a lose. I always, at this point, give you a chance to change your mind. So if you want to change your mind, you can. And also, the other thing I should point out to you, if I were you, I'd do that one. That's the one that I'd scratch. Now, bearing in mind, we've known each other for years, we're mates, and, you know, I want to see you win the money. But you also have to factor in I'm a magician and therefore a professional liar, but it's totally your choice. I really, really, really strongly suggest you go for that one.
Why is it strongly suggesting that, Matt? Does it want you to do it, or does it want you to think to do it?
It's up to you.
I know that he's got absolutely no problem whatsoever with being an arsehole.
Oh, well.
And he 100% wants to win this. Regardless of being mates or not, he wants to win.
Mm-hmm.
That was a given.
So if he's saying that he strongly suggests I go for that one, it probably means that it is that one.
But does it want you to think though? Double bluff.
He wants me to think that because he knows that if I think, if he's telling me it's that one, that he's pushing me to go to the other one.
You're overthinking this, okay? There's a cross and there's a circle. You get the cross, you lose. You get the circle, you win. I would go to that one if I were you. I'm your mate.
He's telling me that because he thinks that if he goes, go for that one, I'll go, right, okay, well, it's definitely that one then.
Do what you want.
And then go for that one.
Yeah, maybe
we'll
you're
go
right.
for that one.
Maybe you're right. Maybe you should go for that one.
Maybe it's a triple bluff.
Oh man.
You're not helping.
Which one do you want?
That one.
You sure?
Come on, Matt.
Final answer? That one there. Is it a winner? Is it a winner? Oh, it looks like it's a winner. Matt, it looks like it's a winner. It looks like it's a winner. Matt, it looks like it's a winner.
man.
Matt. Oh, dude. Oh, mate. The bad news is I get the 10 quid and I get to keep the coin. And
No. No. Give me the coin.
Would you go dead posh then?
I don't no.
No.
What?
What's going on?
You want that?
Yes.
Why?
Because I want to check.
No. You don't want to do that.
Oh, the all X's.
You don't want to do that.
The all
No.
X's
You really don't want to do that. That's not a good idea. That's not a good idea.
Oh, come on.
Oh, you son of a bitch!
I hope it wasn't a good idea. Did warn
Damn
you.
it!
Did tell you. Well, you know, the deal is I get to keep the 10 quid. But I tell you what, you can have that, and I'll have that, and you get to give me a big round of applause for being so close. Oh, you look like a seal. Oh. Thank you. Something weird going on with your hands. You lost. But remember what Brad Burton always says. Experience is what you win when you lose. And what did you learn today?
Brad Burton's full of shit.
That'll be it. Never play a gambling game with Craig better. That's the other one. Now, you know, as I said, I'm not going to get into the controversy. As far as I'm concerned, there's no force. And that's one of the things that I really wanted to achieve. I wanted to get it so I wasn't forcing them. I felt with the dice, it felt like I was forcing them, even though kind of I wasn't. It felt that way. With this, I really wanted to say, look, we've got 4 squares. You can scratch anyone off that you want to. You can scratch anyone that you want to. And I had 3 different people. I mean, I know I did it on Matt because he was just here on his own, but I normally get 3 people involved. You can scratch anyone you want to and not at all dictate where they should scratch. And that's what I wanted to achieve. And you know, I've advertised or I've said on the trailer that the effect is no sleight of hand. And I really believe that the main handling that you just saw uses no sleight of hand. I haven't tried to hide the move. Anybody who's even half experienced in Magic will know there's a move at the end, but it's not a sleight of hand move. You're literally just putting the scratch cards down on the table. But because of how the scratch cards are made, and because there's zeros or noughts and crosses underneath the scratches, it makes it very, very clean from a symmetrical point of view, right? So you don't have to do anything. You can literally have them pick a scratch card. They can take anyone they want to. They can scratch off any squares that they want to. And at the end, when you just reach to take the money and put it in your pocket, you're good. You're done. And they can scratch the final scratch off themselves. So that's Lucky Lotto. And I was very, very pleased with that handling. And when I went to Penguin initially, and I filmed it with Penguin initially, which was in the middle of the pandemic, that's the only handling that was on the tutorial. And then in the meantime, it was about a year before I then flew to America and filmed it again in their studio. And in that year, I actually came up with a second handling, because as good as that handling is, and it's great. I've performed it in parlor shows. I've performed it on stage. I've performed it close up. As good as it is, the problem is you have to carry a stack of scratch cards around with you. And I wanted it to be kind of more of an everyday carry. So the other handling that I came up with was designed to make it more everyday carry. So there was only 1 scratch card. And for anybody that's half intelligent and has some experience in Magic, you'll know that is a challenge in itself. How am I going to be able to do that? How am I going to be able to use just 1 scratch card and still be able to do the same thing that I did in the main handling? Well, the solution was by tearing the card in half. Now, I've tried this a few different ways. I've took the card out of my wallet and I've torn it into quarters, like you're about to see in the trailer. But I've also done it where I've got the card pre-torn up, and I've just got a torn up card in my wallet, and I just take out the 4 torn pieces and it's already been torn. All of these ways work fine. Now, there's pros and cons. Before I talk about the pros and cons, let's have a look at the performance of that. Now, luckily, in the trailer, there's actually a live performance of this particular routine when I was at Penguin Magic. Obviously, it was filmed there. So let's have a look at that. This is the trailer for Lucky Lotto, and you'll see that live performance in there.
Rose, I'm telling you, hang on, what, Rose? No, you don't want to do that, Rose, you don't want to do this, Rose. I was trying to help you. This is the winner. If you'd scratched this one off, you would have got a circle, you would have won 20 bucks. As it happens, you've lost, you didn't listen to me, and the round of applause, I think that's where it's coming right about now. Guys, this is super exciting. Welcome to Lucky Lotto, my scratch card bank night. There's no environment that this routine won't work in. And scratch cards are so organic, everybody knows what a scratch card is. So let me explain what happens in this routine. You pull out a scratch card and you explain that there's 4 squares, 3 losers, 1 winner. You tell the audience that if they get the winning square, you're going to give them $20, for example. But if they get the losing square, if they get the 3 losing squares and you're left with the winning square, then they have to give you a big round of applause. Here's the thing, it's always under your control. You are always going to be able to influence the spectator to get the winning square. But the cool thing is there is no forcing, there is no manipulation, and there is no sleight of hand. You can very, very easily make sure that the spectator loses every single time without having to verbally or physically force them in any way. Anybody here ever play scratch cards? Ever in their life? Have they ever played? Okay, everyone read big, like or close to big?
No, 500.
Okay, well I got a scratch card here.
Okay.
Now I got to tell you, this is not one that you can get in a store. This is, my friend had these made for his company as like a promotional giveaway. And he had to pull them. The reason he had to pull them is because if you know what you're looking for, you can tell where the winning square is. Now, I know where the winning square is. You guys do not. However, this is what I'm going to try and do. We're going to play a little game. I'm going to try and influence you to get the losing squares. Now, to be clear, the winning square is a circle, the losing squares are crosses. I'm going to give 3 of you guys, 1, 2, 3, a chance to scratch off any square that you want to. If you get a winning square, so if you get the circle, I will give you $20. Okay? If, however, I can influence you so that all of you get the losing square and I get the winning square, then I keep the $20 and you guys have to give me a big round of applause for being so clever and managing to influence you. How's that sound? Is that okay? That's all I want out of it. Now, to make it easy, I'm going to take my scratch card and I'm going to rip it up into 4 pieces. Like this. Because that way there's 3 goes. Now, we're going to start with you guys. You're going to have to work together as a team. We're going to call this 1, 2, 3, and 4. Do not let me influence you. I even have a $50 here so we can scratch. Do not let me influence you. If you get a cross, you win the $20. I'm not going to change your mind or anything. I'm hoping by what I've already said will make you lose this. 1, 2, 3, 4. You guys between you decide which one you want. That one there. Do you want to change your mind or are you okay with 1?
Okay.
One of you has to scratch. Have a look. If it's a cross, you've lost. If it's a circle, you've won. What did you get? Oh, is it a cross? Oh, how's my acting? Oh, how did that happen? Oh, what a shame. I'm not out of the woods yet. This is your chance. Are you tweeting about how good the magician is?
I did take a picture.
Oh, hashtag magician is great.
Hashtag time of my life.
Exactly.
Hashtag shuffle girl.
$20. 1, 2, 3. This is your chance. If you get a cross, you win. If you get a circle, you lose. We'll put that one away so we know what we're doing. 1, 2, 3. What you got? Are you sure? Positive? She's positive. She's going straight for it. Oh, man.
How do we know there's a circle?
I'm
down to Rose.
Rose, now let me explain. Hang on, hang on. I like your style, Rose, but here's the thing. Do you know why I always win this game? I'll explain why in a second. There's a 50-50 chance that you're going to win this. But it's a 50% chance you're going to lose.
No pressure, Rose.
I'm going to make you lose. Which one do you want? Hang on, no, hang on. Rose. Rose, okay. Here's the thing. I can see you want that one. Here's the thing. Let me explain. The reason I always win this, I always give somebody a chance to change their mind at the end. Now, I'm telling you right now, you should pick this one because this is the winner. Which one would you like? Rose, I'm a magician and I'm honest. I wouldn't lie to you. This is the winner.
Come on, Rose.
Which one would you like? Rose, I'm telling you, hang on, what, Rose, Rose, Rose. No, you don't want to do that, Rose, you don't want to do this, Rose. I was trying to help you. This is the winner. If you'd scratched this one off, you would have got a circle, you would have won 20 bucks. As it happens, you've lost, you didn't listen to me, and the round of applause, I think that's where it's coming right about now. I get the 20, and you get this to remind you of the special occasion. There you go.
That was fun. Thank you.
Thank you so much for helping. You guys have an amazing night, all right? Take care of yourselves. Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be sharing something with you that's been part of my act for the last 7 or 8 years. Welcome to Lucky Lotto, my scratch card bank.
So that's a live performance. Now, as you can see in that version, I tore the card into quarters. I got 3 people to pick a piece. They could scratch it off, and then the piece at the end, they scratch it, and it's a loser. Now, there's obviously a very simple switch that takes place, and there's no heat on the switch at all because everybody's looking at the thing being scratched. The disadvantage, I don't want to say that slight is a disadvantage because frankly, it's incredibly easy to do, and you don't even need to do that. You could just literally put your hand down by your side at that point. The misdirection is so strong. So I don't want to say that's a con. The con that you've got is, or the pros and cons between the two versions. With the advantage of the single card is it's literally just one card inside a wallet. So you can just take it out your wallet. You can do the routine. You're good. There's nothing else that you need. And it fulfills the same parameters in that they feel like they have a free choice of any piece, because they do have a free choice of any piece. They aren't forced into any particular piece. They can pick any piece that they want to, and then the switch takes place at the end. The con is that it's kind of a bit weird ripping up a scratch card. Now, I've never had anyone say anything about that, and it's never been questioned, but ultimately that is probably the biggest negative. Why are you ripping off this scratch card? Why are you ripping up this scratch card? If you could really do this, why aren't you just giving me the scratch card? And that's the advantage of the other method. You've got a stack of scratch cards. Now, you could say, why are you carrying a stack around with you? Well, it makes sense because you're giving them one of those scratch cards to look at. And you're saying, hey, take any scratch cards you want to, cut any way you want to, have a look at any scratch card. You take that scratch card, and then you're scratching it. It does. It makes complete sense. And it doesn't feel like there's anything going on because you're not ripping it up into bits. So, but the downside is you've got to carry a stack of scratch cards around with you, which fit into your pocket, no problem, but it's not something that you might want to do if you're in an impromptu situation. So I tend to think of it as, if I want to do this trick and it's kind of in an EDC situation, I'll take it out of my wallet and I'll tear it up and I'll do it that way. But if I'm doing it in more of a formal type of booking scenario where I'm booked to do close-up, or I'm booked to do parlor, or I'm booked to do stage, I'll have the stack and I'll wrap an elastic band around the stack and I'll just take it out of my pocket and I'll be good to go, because it does reset itself multiple times before you have to then reset it again. So you can do it several times in a night. Not a problem whatsoever. Either way, it's great. Now, you probably saw from a presentational point of view, something that somebody said very early on in the thread on the Magic Cafe is they said they don't look like normal scratch cards. And I disagree, to be honest. I think that they do. And one of the reasons I do is because I spent about 6 months getting the right type of scratch card. I wanted it to be big enough so that people could see it from a distance if I was doing it sort of in a parlor situation. But I wanted it to look like a scratch card. These were designed by a scratch card company who actually design scratch cards for a living, and this is based off one of their designs. Obviously, I changed it slightly to make it more symmetrical, but in reality, this is the same scratch card that they use for promotional giveaways. And you listen to the performance and you'll hear me say, hey, this is not something that you buy from a shop. This is a scratch card that you would get in a promotional giveaway in a store or something. And my friend got some and he had to get rid of them because of blah, 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 blah. It was that final element that really solidified everything for me, because the problem is, if it was a shop bought scratch card, or if it was just a scratch card I'd found, how can I use the presentational ploy of saying I'm influencing people if I don't know what the winning square is? So it all came together when I came up with the presentational idea of, hey, my friend got these in bulk, he had to get rid of them because you can see where the winning ones are if you know, and he was losing money with them. Now, unless you know what you're looking for, you don't know. I'm going to try and influence you. It all makes absolute, complete and total sense, right? And this really, I only release Magic to the Magic community if I think it adds something. I think that this really adds something to the Magic community because I genuinely believe that the Banknight is such a strong trick. And Banknight in a scratch card just makes total sense. Like I said at the very beginning of this video, you know, the plot of the Banknight routine and the plot of a scratch card is kind of the same thing. So it totally makes sense. I'm surprised no one's ever done it before. But not only does it make sense, but people are used to using scratch cards. They know what they are. It's kind of an everyday object. It doesn't look weird at all, and so on and so forth. So, you know, I'm very proud of the routine, and it allows me to do one of my favorite tricks, but close up. And that's why I released it. Now, the question that's come up, and it's a really valid question, is refills, because Lucky Lotto is $40 and you get enough scratch cards for 10 performances, which means that you're paying about $4 a performance, which when you want to do this multiple times in one night becomes quite expensive, right? And I totally get where you're coming from. Now, you could buy this and just do it as a one-off, or do it occasionally, or do it for the head table, which works fine, and that's absolutely not a problem. But you know what that is a negative, isn't it? Like $40 for 10 performances. And I want to talk about the solution to this, but before I talk about the solution to this, I understand why it's been priced this much. Scratch cards are not cheap. They are not cheap. The printing process is not cheap. And I know when I was prototyping this, I was spending a fortune on scratch cards. And it was really frustrating when a scratch card would come in and it's like, nope, it's not going to work, throw it away. It's not going to work, throw it away. So I understand why they've priced it the price that they have. I totally get that. Ever since Lucky Lotto got released, I've been working with Penguin on refills, because I think, to be honest, the refills for this need to be very reasonably priced, and the refills for this need to be at a point where they allow the end user of the trick to be able to perform it multiple times whilst bringing down the cost of the trick, so it's not $4 a trick anymore. Now, I've been working since Lucky Lotto came out, which was about a week and a half, 2 weeks ago now. I've been speaking to Penguin constantly about ideas, and I've been going back and forth with them, and I've been doing trials and ideas here as well. At my home, not just Penguin at their place. And I have a solution. Now, this is being filmed on Tuesday and it's going up on Sunday. So by the time this goes up, there is a very good chance that I've already announced, or Penguin have already announced, what the refill situation will be. But I've literally just got off the phone to Sean Dunn, actually, and speaking to him about the refill thing. I need to dot some I's and cross some T's, because what I don't want to do is I don't want to have the refills come out and they're not where they need to be for the end user. So I need to dot some I's and cross some T's, which will happen later on today, and then they are going to be released. And I'm going to film a tutorial here, which is just a little bit of an extra tutorial of how to use the refills. And those refills, I think we're going to be able to price them very, very cheaply. So you'll be able to do them again and again and again, and it's not going to cost you hardly anything. We've got a really great solution worked out for this. And I'm going to a gig tonight, and I'm trying it out at a gig with the refills just to make sure everything's perfect. And as long as it is, I'm going to pull the green light with Penguin, and then they can start getting to work on what they need to do in order to start advertising refills available to everybody. But refills will be coming, and they will be very, very cheap. It will make this a lot more affordable than $4 a trick. I've been working really hard with Penguin on that. So the problem with working with Penguin, I love working with Penguin. The problem with this is they never tell you ever when a trick's coming out. The way I find out that Lucky Lotto was coming out was Penguin just emailed everybody, including me, and they were like, Lucky Lotto by Craig Petty. Oh, right, it's out then, is it? That's nice to know. And obviously, this is the sort of trick that you want to do refills, because when you start performing this trick, you'll realize just how good it is and how much more you're going to want to be doing it. You're going to be wanting to do this a lot because the reactions are really strong, as you've seen on the 2 performances I played you. So look out for refills. They're going to be coming soon. As far as I'm concerned, the refills are the only negative about this trick. As I say, I am biased, but I love it. You know, I wouldn't have released it. I wouldn't have been performing it for 8 years if I didn't love it, which is why it's getting 150%, because I love it. You know, I'd be quite hypocritical if I gave my own trick like 50%, right? But from a refill point of view, refills are coming, and they will be coming very, very soon. Trust me, I know what I'm doing with this, and I'm going to be announcing something soon. We just need to make sure that all the I's are crossed and all the T's are crossed. But in the meantime, you know, if you want to pick up Lucky Lotto, it is something I've done for 8 years. I love it. I love performing it. I love the bank night effect. This is a great way of doing bank night close-up. And whether you use the kind of the EDC handling or you use more of the formal close-up handling, either one of them is great, and it will serve you really, really well. 150%. So there you go, guys. That's another review show special in the bag. Do me a favor, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Now, you want to see more videos like this, all you got to do is like the video, subscribe to the channel, leave a comment down below. You can pick up Lucky Lotto from Penguin or from magictv.org, or, you know, all good magic dealers. Go check it out. And you want to check out the Netrix while you're at it, go to www.thenetrix.com. That's www.thenetrix.com. See what all the fuss is about. I will be back again soon with another video. Thank you once again for watching. My name's Craig from Magic TV.